Hi, folks. I wanted to do a new video after a long layoff of layaway of not doing anything. What inspired me to do this one was having gone to my dark site after 3.5 hours drive and realizing I didn't have my guide camera. So I had to do the all my stuff without a guide camera. And also I wanted to say a little bit about uh, a lot of advice that you get or you see about what you should do when you're starting astrophotography, and I find you got to take all this advice with a grain of salt, and I would say you just don't listen to it. Do whatever you want, do what you think is a good idea, like sort of cut your own trail, and you will learn, and you'll enjoy it. And for example, they tell you to just you can start small, start with a small scope. And especially in astronomy, they'll say, well, get some binoculars, and learn the night sky, and then it's you want to take some pictures of some deep sky objects. Maybe you want to take the Milky Way. It's a different goal. You probably have it like me. I had a different goal. I mean, I've uh, spent nights stargazing. I want to take some pictures, and it's like if you ever learned an instrument and you say oh, I want to learn how to play guitar, and then somebody says, well, first you have to learn how to read music, and then maybe learn how to play a flute or an accordion first, and then you can move up. And no, you want to go straight to learning the guitar, and it's the best way if that's what you want to do. So I would say the same for astrophotography. Go and do what you want to do. What you go with, and try to achieve the goal that you have in mind, and go for it. And one of the reasons why I say this is because I found the easiest system I worked with was my large scope. I bought a 8-inch Ritchie Chrétien, and well, I also bought a mount that was capable of supporting it. But it's true, the more money you spend, the easier things are going to be. But um, if you have the money, if well, this hobby is not cheap, so get it. That's the first lesson. That's another thing. People say, well, start with low cost things. Well, no. Now you're going to waste your money on low cost stuff when you need to put that money towards higher cost stuff. So you have to decide what it is you want to do and go for it. You want to take deep sky. You want to take a picture of a distant galaxy, or you want to take you know um, some planetary nebula, which are very tiny. I mean, you're going to have to get yourself an expensive system to do it. Or you can get a smaller system, but it's going to be a small looking object. But anyway, do what you want. And so I would say the only smart thing I did with this large scope was I put a large guide camera on. A large guide scope on it. So that was a smart thing. That larger guide scope with the larger telescope was a good combination, and um, I had great guiding. I had very good results. And another thing I did with that large scope is I chose the Ritchie Chrétien because it's kind of an astrograph. It doesn't require flatteners and reducers and things like that. You can just use it as is, and it has a standard focuser. You can just put your camera. You can put your DSLR, or if you have an Astrocam, you can put your Astrocamera on it. So yeah, so that turned out very well, and that was the scope I had when this last time I went out when I had no guide camera. So imagine you have a like a long focal length 1500 50,000 millimeter sorry 1500 millimeter uh, and focal length, and so this is like well in excess of the small scope they recommend. Like it's like maybe at least four times that of the smaller scopes that they recommend. um, and I did it without guiding. So how did I do that? Well, I decided to, what can you do? Like you have no guiding. So what I did is I tried to get my polar alignment as well as possible, and I used an app to give me an accurate polar alignment. And then what I did was I took test images to see how long, could I track for a minute? Could I track for 30 seconds? And what still looked like round stars, like clear, like not trailing stars, turned out to be 30 seconds. So I have 30-second exposure. And well, the other nice advantage was I was at quite a dark site. I think it was a Bortle 2 or 3. So that helps. Not a lot of background noise, not a lot of no light fog or anything like that. I wanted to know, well, what gain should I do? And in my travels, I found that I prefer to cut the exposure when the stars start to saturate, meaning that they're overexposed. If you expose such that your star is hitting the top end of your sensor, and then you start to lose the quality of the star, the kind of the color. If you completely overexpose your star, you get whites. You just get plain white stars. It's like all the red, green, and blue channels are all overexposed, and they all become max, and then you end up with a white dot. So you don't want to overexpose your stars. So I set the gain to give me as high as possible maximum output from the camera, but not overexposed. So that turned out to be something like 400 on my. I think it was 420. Let me just check. Yeah, I don't have the setting. I'll get that straight before I finish the video. The other thing I tried to do is when you're tracking, uh, if you're tracking with a guide camera, you usually, with the guide camera, you usually have to dither because the camera tracks so accurately to a star or a set of stars that you start to get, if there's any noise at all in your image, you start to get what's called crawling noise, and in the background you get the same pattern, kind of like as your rig sort of pans with the star. Your image is locked onto that star, and camera noise and repeated noise, let's say what they call pattern noise, starts to show a crawling noise through your image as you stack. Um, so that's why they dither. So without guiding, you can't really dither. Now I turned dithering on. I thought, well, maybe it's going to nudge the mount a little bit without the guide camera, but I don't think it did that. I can't confirm that. Um, but in the end, I didn't get the crawling noise. So it was a simple setup: a nicely polar aligned mount with a long focal length Ritchie Chrétien, uh, 30-second exposures, really higher than normal gain, but not saturating the stars. And I think I took about let's see, I took a total of 460 exposures. So I'll show you the results, and I would say that right now that it's a little soft because you don't have guiding. You either so there's the stars, although they're not trailing, they're probably a little soft. So I would say that the image was a little soft, but the stars were nicely colored, and the nebula came out nicely colored as well. So I'll show you that. Okay, so this is my chance to do a little show and tell. This is the Richie Chrétien. It's an Ioptron RC8, and actually I'm gonna run this video because this is where we were last summer actually. So I'm gonna just run this video and see what
the master chef,
my girlfriend there. Cooking up a storm. It's typical Mexican.
And this is our setup. Got the new RC8. Charging up the battery right now. There's some power. That black bag you can see is a power outlet for the. They have them all over the place. And here we are in the Jeep. We're gonna sleep in there. And there's tons of people this year. Well, there's always a lot, but there seems to be extra crowded in the parking area.
Yeah, so let's see. This is a better video of the site. So this is the Starfest Star Party that's held north of Toronto every summer. Very good, one of the best in North America. There's hundreds of people there. They have a big dinner Saturday night, and they have talks Friday and Saturday. They have people from NASA that come and talk, from all over, and it's a very good Star Party. So let me show you my rig, and you can see that. So you can see that this is the. If you can see my cursor, this is the guide scope. It's a 70 millimeter guide scope. It's some people's regular telescopes are 70 millimeter, but this is basically a simple low cost guide scope, and I have a ASI 120 mm guides camera. Very good. I really like that. It's actually got USB 3 connection. This is the Richie Chrétien 8-inch, and beautiful. I love the color. I was trying to get a carbon fiber, but just couldn't get it anymore with the pandemic. I waited through the pandemic, still couldn't get it, so finally I bought this one. And these are, you can see, two extender rings here, this 4-inch extender, and then this is its focuser, which is normally against the body, but it's out here with the extender, but then, which comes with the telescope, and then the camera just plugs into the draw tube. There's no flatteners or anything else in line here. So, and these are actually not very difficult to collimate. Now, my last outing, it's winter, it was cold. I think it was like -7 or 8 overnight, and I just didn't want to do that. So the picture I'll show you, I did collimate, but I think it was good. I think it was fine. I didn't see any artifacts, so it seemed to be collimated. Yeah, and this mount, I used to have the HEQ5 mount, and I sold it because, well, I refurbished it and did a belt drive mod. Worked great, but I wanted more capacity because I wanted to get a bigger scope. So I bought this one, which was like my dream mount. It's It's great. It has belt drive as well. It's quiet. It's strong. It's good. Got good guiding. I think it's one of the best mounts out there. That isn't maybe a Vixen. I don't know how much better they are, but this one is, I would say, good enough for anybody. If you put guiding on it, you're going to get as good guiding as you get with any other scope. Um, yeah, so that helps a lot. A good mount is helps a lot in your astrophotography. Down here you can see the battery. Now I've switched to a lithium iron phosphate battery. This is great because I'm getting older and lead acid is very heavy, and this is much lighter and more capacity. So I and also the voltage is higher, so it doesn't, even though there's some voltage dropped in these lines, it's still a good voltage when it's getting to the electronics and the camera and stuff like that. And the voltage does not droop like over time when you use the lead acid. It kind of goes from like 12.3 down to 11 point something, and it'll drop like a whole volt. And whereas these ones pretty much maintain about 12.3 volts all the time, even when they're draining. So this was great. I really recommend the lithium iron phosphate battery. This is 100 amp. This will probably do anybody for any night. If my friend even claims he can do a couple nights on it, so you're not going to run out of power to do all your electronics and your heaters. So that's basically it. And I'll show you the results. So let's go here. This is the results of my last night where it was cold, but no guiding on this image. You can see there's the color, the yellow stars here, white stars, reddish almost. The color, you can see color throughout, orange, white, blue, in the stars. So this is nice. You can, and of course, there's good color here in the, this is M106. And as you can see, it's maybe, I would say, a little soft, but it's a pretty good image, given that I had no guiding. And you can see these cross, though that's from the Richie Carey channel. So on the bright stars, you get that kind of nice starburst. And that's how I use to focus it. I don't use anything like a Bahtinov mask. I don't use auto focus. All those things just make things more complicated and difficult. I just focus the star until I get these starburst, and then it's focused, because so it's like a built-in Bahtinov mask actually. And yeah, so it was very, very easy, and I found that I don't really have to track focus over the night. It basically holds focus, and so does my refractor. My refractor is a carbon fiber. That might help a little bit, that I don't really need to refocus, but I usually refocus after a meridian flip if it's been a couple of hours. So yeah, so that's the results. And while I'm at it, I guess I'll show you my previous outing. This was in September. This is the Cygnus Wall. So this scope, you can see, gets nice and close. And this is the Cygnus Wall, of course, is just a fraction of the North American Nebula. And you can see the star color. It's great. Blue stars. This looks like it's a, I don't know if that's a double star, but there's a small one next to the large one. You have the or yellow star here. Like here's an orangey red. So if you look around and just sort of focus on the stars, you'll see that the stars have a lot of color, and of course the nebula has nice color. Now this is a natural color image. It's not. I'm not using SHO or any kind of color blending. This is the natural. I haven't done any star masking or anything like that. I just stacked them and controlled how much sort of stretching so that I don't ruin the stars. And I've also maybe turned up some not contrast, but basic kind of contrast, and maybe not even that, but saturation settings in my photo tool. But I found with my stacking program called Astropixel Processor, I have to do very little processing after that. So with Astropixel Processor, after I've stacked, I crop it. I do like I do a light pollution correction, which seems to clear up any vignetting as well if I have any vignetting. And so it does a really nice job. And then I do star calibration. So I pick a section of the like here, say, or say around here, and I do star calibration, and this is the result. So I get good star color and good nebula color, and very distinctive colors, and it's not a false color. It's this is the result. So yeah, so that's it. Kind of a rambling video. It was my chance to say some things, I guess, that were on my mind, and show you that not to get too hung up on, I guess, a lot of advice that comes out there. You be very cautious of the advice that's out there, that's on the web. A lot of it is misguided, actually. Or it's old. It doesn't apply anymore. For example, like DSLRs are very good now. A lot of the stuff calibration don't even need to do. So yeah, so do what you want to do, what you can afford, and find your own solutions. You'll see, as you go, you'll see a problem, and then you can search on it. Or you can research all you want, and then decide that what you want to do, and try to avoid any problems. But like I say, this is my biggest scope, and it was the easiest to use, and it has very good results. My older scope, I had a damaged flattener that bugged me for a long time, and this is simpler and easier, but it's a big scope. So that's it. I hope you liked the video. Hope I do another one sooner than last time, and have a good summer. We're about to hit our summer. Thanks, everybody. Bye.